Chapter 28. Nala. "We made it," Nala said in an awed voice, unable to take her eyes off the wondrous sights that lay before her. Everything was so green and lush. Trees of every size and height grew so close together that it was hard to tell where one stopped and the next one started. Thick, ropey vines connected them, draping from one to another. A waterfall cascaded down the grass-covered slope of a mountain, spinning into a basin with the bluest water she had ever seen. A rainbow, a real rainbow, arched over the basin. Caramba was everything she and Simba had imagined it would be and more. Simba, was he here? Had he been living in this dreamland all this time? She had to find out. "We need to find Simba," Nala said, but before she could take off, Scar stopped her, pinning her tail under his paw. "Not so fast. Garamba is vast, and you have no idea where Simba is. He could be anywhere." "If he's here, he is at the Blue Grotto," Nala said confidently. We just have to find it." She tried to move forwards, but Scar still held her. "Of the three of us, only one has been to Garamba," he said. "You will follow my lead. This jungle is beautiful, but it is still a jungle, and there are pitfalls everywhere. Now follow me." Nala ached to break away from him and go in search of the Blue Grotto on her own, but Scar was right. There was probably dangers lurking all around this amazing place. She hadn't come this far only to fall into quicksand or stumble upon a snake pit. It was better to let him lead. As she followed Scar, Nala soon realized that she would not have got very far on her own anyway, because she couldn't walk 5 steps without stopping to take in the incredible sights of the jungle. They traveled along a narrow trail of trampled leaves. On either side stood those massive trees that seemed tall enough to touch the sky, but she couldn't see the sky because the leaves and vines were so abundant that they created a canopy over their heads. The foliage covering the ground was as thick as the leaves above, and it was everywhere, even on the trees. "I've never seen grass growing on the sides of trees before," Nala said. "It's moss. We have moss on the trees back in the savannah," Scar said. "Not like this," Nala replied. The moss that grew on the trees and rocks near Pride Rock was brown and stubby. This moss was as dense as the grass growing in the scrubland. Everything here was lush and verdant. She could tell in just the short time they had been here that Caramba was as remarkable as she and Simba had hoped it would be. But where was Simba? Now that they were here, the need to find him thumped within her bones like a heartbeat. "Scar, are you sure this is the way to the Blue Grotto?" she asked as she walked in to step with him. She paused. "Wait, is that water?" She immediately took off, veering left on the path and heading towards the sounds of gurgling water. She climbed over the protruding roots of the trees and underneath the wide, flat leaves of the foliage that grew everywhere. "Nala, get back here," she heard Scar yell, but she kept going, not stopping until she reached the edge of a short cliff. "Wow," Nala said as she released a low breath. Scar and Zazu quickly made it to her side, but Nala didn't acknowledge them. She couldn't tear her eyes away from the beauty on display. At the base of the cliff was a stream with water so clear she could see the bed of smooth rocks that lay across the bottom of it. Fish of all sizes zipped through the stream, their myriad colors creating an underwater rainbow. It was all so vibrant, like nothing she had ever seen before. Nala peered in the direction the fish swam. It suddenly occurred to her that this stream must lead to something. "Maybe... Do you think this stream leads to the Blue Grotto?" she asked. She looked over at Scar. "Do you?" "I can't be certain," Scar said. "It has been a long time since I visited Gramba." "But you said we had to follow you because you're the only one who's been here," she reminded him. "Yes, well, it has changed. There were a lot fewer trees the last time I was here. Nala barely managed to hold in her frustrated growl. We should follow the stream, Nala said. Not so fast. But Scar, she said. He gave her one of those superior looks that challenged her to say another word. This time Nala did growl in frustration. Scar scowled, but then he finally said, We'll ask if any of the residences have seen Simba. The moment they turned to go back to the trail, the sound of leaves rustling caught Nala's attention. She looked up at the trees just in front of them and saw a long-legged monkey swinging from one of the vines. Don't ask him, Nala said. That's a bonobo, Nala. They're harmless. He is right, Zazu said. Do not let what happened with the macaques change the way you view all primates, Nala. They are not all out of her blood. Scar walked up to the tree where the monkey hung upside down, chomping on fruit of some sort. Excuse me, Scar said. We're looking for a lion cub, about yay tall, funny-shaped head. Nala frowned up at him. Are you asking about Simba? The bonobos asked. Nala's heart stopped. He's here? Yeah. The bonobo took another bite of his fruit and chewed slowly. Check the blue grotto, he finally continued. He hangs out around there with Timon and Pumbaa. He pointed in the direction the fish were swimming in the stream. It's right that way, just past the waterfall. He's here! Her pride's rightful king was here! As tightly as she had held on to the hope of finding Simba alive, it wasn't until this very moment that Nala realized that deep within she had been secretly preparing herself for the opposite news. But she didn't have to fear awful news anymore, because Simba was here. He was alive. She looked over at Scar. His mouth hung open. He looked as shocked as she felt. He's alive, Scar! Simba is alive! Let's go! She took off running towards the waterfall, towards her best friend.